Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Jurassic World Evolution 2 livestream. I am Jens. I am part of the community team here at Frontier, and it is my absolute pleasure to be your host for the next hour or so as we continue the campaign Let's Play that we started just a couple of weeks ago. And as we're also giving you a very exclusive little sneak peek into some of the things that you can expect to see in the just announced Free Update 1 and Early Cretaceous Pack. I am very, very excited. And I know a lot of people out there are also excited to see what we've got coming up. If you haven't heard it already, we are rolling out a free update and a Early Cretaceous Pack DLC on December 9th. So that is in just 6 days. And check out our forums for the sort of top level breakdown of some of the things you can expect, and today you'll get to see some of it as well. Now, before we get to that, I want to say hello to some people we have over in chat. We've got Osric here, Planet Zoo blogger, Crispy Tater Tot. We've got Javier Game Raptor, Slopey77, Connor Graham, Zemi90. It is very, very good to see so many people out there, and I really appreciate you taking the time to come and join me for this this stream. It's going to be a good one, I think, or I know it's going to be a good one because I planned it to be a good one, you know. And I'm also lucky enough to not have to do this entire stream on my own. I am joined by dinosaur producer extraordinaire Orcun Adsoy. How are you doing, Orcun?
Hello, good to be on the stream. I'm the lucky one, Jens, to be on here with you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I was going to say, what have you been up to recently? But you know, I'm sure there's been a lot of work on this pack. And so, for those who don't know you, why don't you quickly introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Orcun. I'm the producer for everything to do with dinosaurs, whether it is the assets, the way they look, that sort of stuff, or going all the way through to AI and the way they act and the way you look after them, the way you manage them. Yeah, that's the general gist of it. I won't bore you with what a producer does. We look after the teams and make sure they're happy and able to work effectively. Sort of
the park manager of the dinosaurs. That is
yes,
the dev team.
Yes, exactly that. Every need, beck and collar, you know.
Exactly.
Orcun, get me a coffee. Orcun, you know, I need a footstool. I'm slightly uncomfortable. That's a producer's job.
That's nice though. But you know, it's good. Like you need someone to look after, people and make sure that they're comfortable, make sure that they're happy, etc., etc. Dinomation says perfect analogy, so appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, as I mentioned in the intro here, we're going to be playing a bit more of campaign mode. So we'll be finishing up location 3, which was Pennsylvania, which we played last week with Rich, and then we're going to move on to location number 4, check out some flying reptiles, have some fun there. Talk to Orcun a little bit, talk to chat a little bit as well, and then towards the end of the stream, that's where we're going to give you a small preview of Update 1 and the DLC content. And as we've also announced previously, DLC content will come with some new stuff that we've talked about. You're going to get the campaign maps in sandbox mode. We're going to be adding in DFW buildings in sandbox mode. There's going to be Jurassic Park lagoons and aviaries in sandbox mode, and there's also going to be bug fixes and some quality of life updates as well in free update number 1. Before we get started, Orcun, what's it been like for you since launch? We're almost a month out at this point.
Yeah, it's been really, really cool. So for me personally, I think I've mentioned to you before, but I used to be a community manager myself. One of the parts of the game that can be most exciting is when it first goes out. People get it in their hands. You can kind of see what the feedback is. You can see what people are saying about it. You can see how they're playing it. You can kind of peruse through forums and social media and stuff and see what everyone's saying. Understand what people want for the future and that sort of thing. And you know, the response has been really good. It's been quite exciting. Yeah, that sort of stuff really primarily. And then of course making sure that this here pack that we're talking about now is all going to plan, and hopefully everyone will be as excited for that as they were for the base game.
I see there's a couple of questions in chat asking if the DLC dinosaurs and reptiles will be unlocked immediately or if they have to sort of research and release them. And I can tell you today that once you've purchased this DLC, they will be available right away in sandbox mode. No research or release in any other mode necessary. So you can just go ahead and just let them out in the game that you're playing. But I think it's time. Hours already.
Take breaks, man. It's a fun game, but make sure you take breaks.
Yeah, you are allowed to take a couple of breaks. Someone said mic dead, but it looks like, yeah, everyone has audio, right? Hope so. I hope so. So I right before the stream started, I sent out a I sent out an expedition to capture 2 of these diplodocus, and we're going to get them set up inside this this enclosure right here. And as we wait for them to come in, please let me know if I need to adjust any audio levels or anything like that, because, you know, sometimes it's difficult for me to see if everyone's sounding good. And I'm also going to adjust Orcun just a tiny smidge.
Am I being too loud
down
again?
Here. No, it's just there was a tiny little thing there. Anyway, so Orcun, would you visit a dinosaur park much like this, or are you more of a no? Keep them in the ancient times as they were. This is a bit too dangerous.
Not to quote the McElroy brothers, but would I know about Jurassic Park and the things that have happened there before choosing whether to visit this sort of park?
We're making progress.
Would I know that seemingly every time someone attempts something like this, there's an awful lot of chaos?
Let's say that the PR machine has managed to sort of cover up some of it, but there's going to be some rumors that, you know, oh, these dinosaur parks, they're not really safe.
Absolutely yes. You know, it'd be a wonderful opportunity to say, oh, I've heard some rumors, but I'm sure there's nothing to them, and then go see the starving carnivores for myself. Wave at them, you know, walk past the fences, hitting a stick against them as I go past, inevitably be the first casualty.
Oh no.
A wonderful time.
So you would actively antagonize some of the dinosaurs, is what I'm hearing.
No. I'm sure I'd be a lot more chilled than that. The herbivores would be my interest anyway. So many of them are adorable.
They are very, very adorable. All right, let's get this mobile veterinary unit to scanning these diplodocuses, because they're not doing too hot. They need a bit of water as well and some tall fruit, but we can very easily take care of that by adjusting their let's see, ground leaf, ground fiber, fruit and nut. Here we go. Tall fruit.
Jens, tell me, my dude, how do you feel about people backseat gaming?
I mean, if it's you, then it should be fine, I think. So generally, yeah, it should be all right. Should be all right.
Streams are pretty cool, you know, being officially invited into a situation where I can question every decision you make. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. But yeah, I think we're very nearly ready. We're very, very, very close to finishing up this level, then moving on to the next one as well. So we're just gonna be hanging out here in beautiful autumnal Pennsylvania. And I should also get, first I'm going to make sure that all my dinosaurs are happy and comfortable. They're a bit injured, they have a bit of frostbite, but so far their health is doing well. So let's see, maybe I can just have these MVUs come over, medicate. There we go.
Looking at your park here, can I offer you a challenge for the next park you build?
Sure, go ahead.
Less square enclosures, a bit more curvature to it, you know, some interesting shapes.
Yeah, it was mentioned by Rich that I was very square and very rectangular in my builds. I think I'm sort of trying to role play as like a government person going through some of the stuff, whereas they would very much, you know, function over form. Like, we just need these dinosaurs put into a place, and then that's it, really. And here we go, mission complete.
Congratulations.
Basilisk Art says that's a Rich Newbold style of park building, basically making squares.
Right. They know him surprisingly well.
No, but I've been playing. I've been playing in my my off hours. I'm trying not to talk too much over the cutscene, so I think we're just going to let it play out, and then I'm going to continue the story.
I'll be proud of what we've accomplished here.
But
What?
I can hear it in your voice.
Okay. I'm just wondering what Dua is really up to. I don't buy all her saving the future by controlling the past talk.
Yeah, Lambert mentioned that some of the animals were being moved to an undisclosed location. He wouldn't say, or maybe he didn't know who was taking delivery, but it wasn't the DFW.
Sounds like there's some stuff happening behind the scenes here.
And you and I are not invited.
Yeah, as I was going to say, I've been playing this in my off time as well. And I've been trying to experiment more with, rounded sort of circular enclosures as well for my land dinosaurs. Most of them end up looking a bit more like eggs than full circles, but
just try to kind of build kind of flower shapes if you want, like a circle in the middle and chunks that come off of that and flow it out like that.
There's a very, very good one.
Agreed.
Well, this is the flying reptiles level, so there might not be too many land enclosures right here, but we shall see. We shall see. Bombo Wombo Combo saying the second game looks really good, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us on this stream here. So let's get started
We're
on
going to need
these
facilities in place for the
aviaries.
flyers when they arrive. Let's start with some aviary domes and a hatchery.
I like the styling on the aviaries. What the art team managed in the end. You get quite a sense of grandiose size to them, and it really kind of stands out from the rest of the park as well. Kind of creates quite a unique aesthetic.
Absolutely, and I really enjoy the sort of modular building design that we have, where you can make them different shapes and all that stuff. I mostly just put sort of 3 and 4 together, but I've seen some nice like donut shapes people have made. I've seen some parks where they're literally covered in aviary domes and lagoons, which is also pretty fun. All right, so I need an expedition center built, and then we're waiting for this aviary research to come in.
You can definitely do some cool stuff with them, like have them cover half the perimeter of your entire park, and have this cool kind of aviary 180 degrees around, and that sort of thing is quite nice as well.
So yeah, as we mentioned previously, the campaign maps are coming to sandbox mode, and this is one of the maps that are coming to sandbox mode. So you'll be able to build on this Oregon map, as well as Pennsylvania, and all the other campaign maps are coming. We should mention that you will have to have finished the particular level that the map is tied to in order to use it in sandbox mode. But I mean, I'm assuming that everyone's played through the campaign, right? Right? So shouldn't be that much of an issue. All right, so let's get this aviary dome built. Do you have a favorite dinosaur, Orcun? Or are you more of a sort of connoisseur of everyone?
Do I have a favorite dinosaur? Does that include reptiles?
Yes, it can include flying reptiles.
I am honestly, I'm actually quite fond of Deinonychus. Has ended up being one of my favorites. The kind of variants that they have, the color variants and whatnot, are quite snazzy, and I'm quite fond of them as a result of that. Funnily enough, one of the new dinosaurs coming out is also something I'm quite fond of. With the again, I can talk about them, right?
The so dinosaurs in the DLC, yes, you can mention them.
Wicked. The Minmi is a particularly adorable creature.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's not massive. It's fairly small, like kind of a particularly large dog, and has quite an adorable little face. And again, I'm just quite fond of it. I would have expected to be more of a carnivore man, but honestly, it's just ended up that some of them are so cute that you can't help but.
Basilisk says that Minmi is the best thing since sliced bread. So I can agree with that.
So we should snap to it.
All right, let's fly the not so friendly skies.
Get some of these Pteranodons captured, shall we? Pteranodons out in Oakland, and then we await the delivery of the captured Pteranodon.
Have them brought to the aviary hatchery by our transport.
Raider Jake says my favorite is the Spino. A lot of fans out there of the Spinosaurus. I feel like the rivalry between T-Rex and Spinosaurus fandom are similar to the rivalry between T-Rex and Spinosaurus in Jurassic Park 3.
Kind of a my dinosaur can beat up your dinosaur kind of situation.
Yes, and we have proof that at least one of those dinosaurs can beat up the other dinosaur.
Very much so.
let's see, there's another, Basilisk Arc says Acrocanthosaurus is my favorite one. Gaimcore says, is King Kong a dinosaur? What about Godzilla? I actually don't think they're dinosaurs, technically. They're kaiju, I believe, is the actual term. All right. We've got our Pteranodons here. So let's get them transported. BD Thrower, you have not missed anything. We've been playing for about 10, 15-ish minutes. We're going to be getting into some a small preview of the free update and the Early Cretaceous Pack later on in the stream. Right now, we're playing and enjoying the campaign mode.
Do you have a personal preference anyway amongst dinosaurs or reptiles?
I mean, much like you, I tend to like herbivores. I really like the sort of big herbivores. So, like, I'm a huge fan of the Brachiosaurus. I really like the Triceratops as well. At least in my youth, it was one of my favorite ones, and I still have a very soft spot for the Triceratops. So like big sort of hulking armored dinosaurs are kind of cool. But after playing this game, I've gotten a bit of an affinity for the Coelophysis as well, because like I like the small carnivores. They're very cute, very like jumpy and seem. I was going to say they seem cuddly, but they're probably not.
I tell you what's gone 180 degrees for me is the ichthyosaur.
Oh, really?
I've historically, I don't know what it is, the way ichthyosaurs look bother me. I dislike them. But our one, especially when you give it that kind of pink and purple variant setup, is just wonderful. Pure bliss. Adorable little things.
I do really, really like the way that you can customize and change up the different dinosaur skins and all that to make it look unique and given that like extra cool look to it, basically.
Yeah, between animation and code, actually they've done a wonderful job as well, because obviously we've got some of the big lumbering, the mosasaur and whatnot. But then the ichthy just feels completely different because it's smaller and because it's more agile, because it moves just very differently. It's just kind of a very different aesthetic, different feel to the other marine reptiles.
For sure, like it's a bit more fish-like, if I'm remembering correctly, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it's essentially a dolphin, but if I remember correctly, it's not actually closely related to the dolphin family. It just looks very similar. Yeah,
because I did some research on this. Like one website said they might look like fish, but they are still reptiles, which I think is very, 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 very fun. Ah, look at this.
Looks like we might be getting things under
Handsome
control.
boy.
Ah, it's so cute.
Oh.
Well, girl.
Handsome girl, I was going to say, yeah.
Over the years, I'm going to go with
And Ian Malcolm is here.
Unquote last words instead. Dr. Malcolm.
Let's get a viewing gallery
you
up and running as
contacting
well.
Same thing as always, the dinosaurs. And my obsessive need to witness the car crash when it happens.
It's
Here
good
we
to hear
go.
from you again, Dr. Malcolm.
Dr. Dua, you're now increasing the so-called intelligence.
Dr. Malcolm here to warn us about
Understand correctly.
things potentially going wrong, as always, which is his forte, I would say.
I adore their voice lines so much. And them coming in and basically giving you automated VO'd backseat gaming.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Exceptional.
Is Ian Malcolm the ultimate backseat gamer, telling people, hey, don't do this, don't do this?
Ergo, they should.
There's nothing a Cabot Finch can't say anyway that I don't appreciate. He could come in and start straight up insulting my park, and I'll be like, it's all right, Cabot. I've got you, bro.
At the moment, Doctor.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Basilisk Art with a fun fact saying that.
To help shed some
I'm gonna
light
wait
in
until
this
Ian
regard,
Malcolm is done.
Mr. Isaac Clement.
Done
A specialist
speaking here.
of the spectacular.
let me
You should be hearing from him
get.
soon.
These dinosaurs
additional
require
view
feeders if they're to
gallery.
stay healthy. Stay
and
on top
running.
of it.
Oh, can I get this in?
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
Nice.
I'm Isaac Clement. Dr. Malcolm should have mentioned me earlier. We have some
And then
specific requirements,
gets this
including
up
a
and
ranger team
running
to
here.
gather information and monitor
Alright.
the animals within the aviary. A viewing gallery is also on our list.
Sure, I'm
So,
right ahead of
it's all
you,
yours.
Isaac. So yeah, Basilisk Art had a very good fact over in chat saying that ichthyosaurs are reptiles. They just evolved the fish shape because it's the most efficient for underwater movement, and that's why dolphins look the way they do. So that's, you know, you learn something every day,
It makes a lot of sense.
even on these streams. Can I feed a dinosaur to another dinosaur? I could, but I'm not going to. I would like my dinosaurs to be happy and safe and mostly alive, so I'm not going to do that.
The first time I played Jurassic World Evolution 1, my partner was watching me play, and I was just feeding dinosaurs to dinosaurs. I was like, if I remember correctly, I think per pop, like, it was cheaper than making a feeder. Obviously, in the long term, not much cheaper, but yeah.
I think it makes me nervous.
Whoops.
No, seriously.
Whoops. All right, let's get this
Okay, I'm not following you.
response
Dr.
facility up and
Malcolm
running
was
as well.
contacting Dr. Dua from who knows where.
Because that's a
when
good
these
idea. So we can
flying
keep track
reptiles
on
become an
how
issue.
these flying reptiles are doing.
Because
How are their
they
comforts?
introduce a unique danger.
Exactly, because we need to ensure that they have 90% comfort. And right now,
Concerned?
we don't know.
Yeah, that's
So we need to...
Whoa.
Let's not get
Again,
ahead
you're
of
being too
ourselves,
cold.
Owen.
90%
For now,
comfort
we
is
should
for
make
people
sure the
who only want to make
satisfaction
money.
levels for the
You want
flyers
100%
are high.
comfort. You want to make sure those dinosaurs having the best time of their life, or reptiles rather, having the best time of their lives.
Forget the conspiracy
Of course.
angle.
I mean,
90% comfort.
ideally, I would like all of my dinosaurs and reptiles to have 100% comfort, because that's, you know, that's their perfect conditions. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything is, let's see, add task, there we go. All right, so let's just get this going. I'm also looking at chat as we wait for this ranger team to carry out their tasks. Do we plan on doing chaos theory or challenge mode after? At some point, we probably will get to both chaos theory and maybe challenge mode on these streams as well. But current focus is campaign and then some DLC focus later on. Because, you know, I like to play through the campaign. I think it's fun.
I think you guys would be hard done by if you can't get Jens to agree to do a Jurassic difficulty challenge map at some point.
I mean, you did tell me. Oh, I like this. I'm just going to pause this for a little bit. So, if you haven't seen this, when your rangers are checking on the status of the flying reptiles and the marine reptiles, they use these really cool drones that will fly around in the air and in the lagoon as well to make sure that everyone's doing well. And then outside, you'll see your ranger team right here controlling this drone and patrolling through the aviary. Sorry, I cut you off there.
That's all right. I was causing you trouble.
Yeah, but I believe, Orcun, if I'm not mistaken, you volunteered once for a Jurassic difficulty challenge mode level.
Happily.
So I would love to see that happen at some point as well.
If your users don't mind, your viewers don't mind watching a man save scum repeatedly, then certainly I'm more than happy to do Jurassic. It's the way I enjoy. I tend to play games in quite heavy opposites. You know, Final Fantasy X is one of my favorite games of all time, but then I'll play things like Dwarf Fortress, which is on the heavy opposite side of the scale. So
Sure.
I'll play this game to create kind of beautiful little parks. But at the same time, I enjoy the Jurassic difficulty challenge maps an awful lot.
I've seen one sort of dev playthrough at one point, and it looked challenging. So
Is that the one I'm thinking of?
I think that's the one you're thinking of. All right.
That was a good playthrough.
It was a very, very fun one. Osric says, I sense a challenge mode battle between Jens and Orcun coming up. That's not a bad shout.
That's not a bad shout.
It's not a bad idea. We shall see. So we're waiting.
It's actually a pretty good idea, because challenge maps on Jurassic can take an awful lot of hours, considerably more hours than the stream is likely to go for. But if you were to say first person to X objective, or whoever gets the furthest in a certain amount of time by the end of the stream, that could work quite well.
I think so. Are we going to get the Margaritaville Orange Tower from Jurassic World? I think there might be some right stuff wrapped up in there, so I don't think that's something that's going to happen, unfortunately. But I think the amenities buildings look really, really lovely anyway, and you can decorate them in a myriad of different ways. So our Pteranodons here are looking good, nice and comfortable on their perches here. So far, so good.
Sorry, I just saw Crispy Tater up to say I'm 18 hours into a Jurassic difficulty challenge map. They understand the pain, but it's joyous. It's a very different style of gaming, right? You've got almost like gates that you're trying to get through.
You were right, Dr.
The
Bump.
first time you play a Jurassic Difficulty
It's
Challenge map,
sort of
you're
my thing.
dealing with
Facility is functioning
being able
as
to afford
anticipated.
to have
We have enough
dinosaurs, depending on
assets
which
in the
map you're on.
pipeline that we
Yeah.
should be able to
And then
move
once you've
forward
got
soon.
dinosaurs,
Right now we're putting out brush
it's a race
fires,
against the
but
clock to
this-
make sure
this
you've
is
got
an
the ability to deal with
inferno
disease
that could engulf
before
the
the first
world.
one gets it.
Your
Otherwise, it's game
concern is
over.
noted.
It's
For
wonderfully
now,
fun.
I suggest we focus
Absolutely.
on this location. It's about high
So-
welfare and visibility for the animals.
I'm just waiting for
and
people
safety
to
for the DFW staff,
to,
of course.
to talk things through.
Learning to coexist
Crispy
with
says
the
that
dinosaurs
challenge mode
a
is very
process.
enjoyable and cruel at the
Guessing
same time.
that.
I mean,
And if we don't,
it's called
we're gonna leave
challenge
us.
mode for a reason.
Created an
So-
apocalypse born of our
You know what you're going in for,
arrogance.
especially if you play it on
Humanity
hardest.
Exactly.
Versus the dinosaurs, and
All right,
honestly, I'm not sure who deserves to win.
let's get going with another expedition. So we've got some different flying reptiles that we can go out and capture. So we've got some more Pteranodon, but I think we have enough Pteranodon right now. So we can capture some Trophognathus or some Dimorphodon. And I would like for chat to decide which one we go for, Trophognathus or Dimorphodon. And then we shall see what Miriam right off the bat saying, get Tropio or Dimorphodon first. Another vote for Dimorphodon from Raider Jake. What do you think, Orcun? Trophognathus or Dimorphodon?
I'm a massive Dimorphodon fan. I have to be honest.
Really?
But whatever chat wants, I'm not looking to get in the way. If they want one or the other, I'm happy to go along with whatever they want.
It appears to be leaning more towards Dimorphodon than Trophognathus. I think both look really, really good. Both of them are good flying reptiles, but I think it's going to be Dimorphodon for this one.
I adore my little flying goblins.
They are very cute.
They're adorable.
They're
Not in a sort of
adorable.
like, oh no, it's out of the cage, isn't it cute kind of way. More in a sort of, it's behind a lot of steel and I can view it from a
Yes.
viewing port kind of way.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't want one in your house, but you can appreciate one from a viewing gallery. You know,
I have
you
an
can
active-
appreciate one
If we wanna
flying
find
around or
success,
sitting
we must look
right
to
above
the
you
sky.
like this.
That means more flyers and more species of flyers in the aviaries.
I have quite an active
Flap,
imagination,
not
and
flop, huh?
you know
Alright.
when someone's like, "Oh, I'm afraid of whatever spiders," and there's one in the other room, just have that image, but instead there's just a Dimorphodon perched on your sofa, and you're like, I don't even know who to call. I don't know what I would do under these circumstances.
Well, we do have the DFW, but well, not in this universe, but in the game universe. We shall see. We shall see. Oh, gotta refill this generator here and make sure it is. Well, let's just fill it all up. Let's just fill it all up.
Mr. Moneybags.
Yes, I mean I've got $5.5 million in the bank. I think I'm doing okay.
Hey, 5.5 million. Let's be done with the park. Let's go on holiday or something, man.
Yeah,
Which-
exactly. If you also missed the news, these lovely flying reptiles will also be able to perch on rocks that you place inside the aviary after update 1. And who knows, maybe you'll get a brief glimpse of that later on in the stream when we show you the small preview of things coming in update 1. For now, let's just behold this beautiful Oregon sunrise, which looks really nice.
Oh, the environment team has done such a good job with all of these levels.
Absolutely.
And the render teams and engine teams have done a phenomenal job with the lighting effects and everything as well, especially when it's transitioning from
For
one
sure.
time of day to another. It's just really beautiful. I especially like the levels with large lakes in them. It's
Yes.
gorgeous.
Yeah. Which one is it? The Canada challenge map, I think, looks really, really nice. We have like the big lake sort of coming out from where you're building.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gorgeous stuff. And yeah, both this map and the previous one. I'm actually going to speed up time a little bit and get this expedition underway. The previous map and this one look absolutely amazing. Same with the next one that maybe we'll get to in the next few minutes or so. We shall see. It's all right. We've got these Dimorphodon coming in. Let's just. I think they'll do fine along with the Pteranodons. So let's just get them into this aviary here.
Give me a sec while I hydrate. Everyone at home, remember to hydrate.
Remember to hydrate, very, very important. And here come the Dimorphodon. Feeling a bit lonely, but should be good to go once we get some more of them coming in. Oh, they're so cute when they fly around.
I'm loving the triple speed flapping.
Yeah, it does look quite like something. And just you can see the size difference. You can just see the difference between all of them. It's really, really nice.
Did you know that on the other viewing platform, aviary viewing platform, because there isn't anything stopping it, or is it this one actually? No, it is this one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
If they land, their little tails can fall between the bars.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. That's fun.
It's one of those things that you're certain that 99% of people won't see, but for the sake of accuracy, you get someone from one of the teams contacting you saying, I really want to get this to work. It's like, okay, fair enough. Let's get their little tails falling between them.
Ah, that's cute. All right, so they need a bit of sand. We can absolutely do that. There we go. Bit of sand, and they're good. Just a little bit of sand off in the corner here. And
Look at that, 100% happy.
Yeah. Hopefully this Pteranodon is still 100% happy as well. Yep. All good. All great.
Yeah, I just realised this is the one with glass. It's the other viewing platform like that.
Yep. So let's see. Right now, we're doing okay on cohabitation, but I think if I check my stuff here correctly, yeah. So the flying reptiles generally they're okay with the other flying reptiles. They don't have a particular like or dislike against some of the other ones. But I think if we start putting more flying reptiles into this aviary here, there's going to be some cohabitation issues. Basically, too many of them. I don't want to cause a breakout. So I think I'm just gonna build another aviary. Does that sound good?
Makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense. All right, let me just see how much area I've got to build in. I think I can place it down here. Boom, boom, boom. Nice. And then of course, every aviary needs a viewing gallery because everyone wants these to be visible. There we go. And
it's not enough that we have the reptiles. People want to be able to physically see them as well, honestly.
Yes, of course. I mean, wouldn't you? All right, let's get this thing hooked up.
I told you already, I'd find a way into the aviary and be the first person to perish.
First person to be picked up and carried away.
Lovingly. By these kind, gentle creatures.
Right, let's just put up another backup generator. And there we go. Nice going. Now we need to get the Tropio, says Miriam. And last on the list, Vegas Pteranodons. I think something tells me if we get the Tropiognathus in here, that's going to be sort of the end of this level, because I think we're coming up on the high asset thing. So let's just get these Tropiognathus captured. And we should be rolling. Gainkor says, can the game tell you? Yes, the game can tell you whether or not a dinosaur prefers to spend the company of a certain other dinosaur or a reptile, in the flying reptiles case. So where it says here, cohabitation preferences, no liked species, but it also dislikes the Doctor Wu hybrids for some obvious reasons, if you've seen some of those animations. But yeah, they're neutral to each other, which means if you go here, you see the cohabitation bar here, which means that if I put more in, the cohabitation bar will go up. And if they're in the red, they will start to get antsy and a bit uncomfortable. But if they share an enclosure with animals that they like, then the cohabitation bar won't really move. So it's a bit of a mix and match and sort of juggle back and forth you have to do when you're placing these animals together.
I was tempted to use a flatmates analogy to try and describe that, but I decided it becomes a bit weird and abstract at some point, so I chose not to.
I think it's going to be fine. People will understand, right? Everyone's had roommates at some point, maybe. No, but I totally get it. All right, before we do anything else, I'm just going to prepare this aviary, put some water in, get a piscivore feeder, and then we're waiting for our Tropiognathus. Rabidicus Nollis says, the Dimorphodon has the nicest flight animation and wing model in the game. I love that the wing membranes actually connect to their legs. Thank you so much. The dinosaur team, like all of them, have done an amazing job on making all the dinosaurs look exceptional, in my opinion.
There's a huge amount of research that goes into it before any of the dinosaurs are made, and yeah, they always do an exceptional job. Obviously, it's not always. There's always a lot of different kind of scientific kind of views on exactly what something should look like.
Of course.
So there's a bit of creative license in there as well, seeing as it's obviously the Jurassic brand and whatnot. But yeah, they do a lot of work to get everything looking as tip-top as they can.
Absolutely. And there's, you know, it has to sort of look and feel a certain way, and I feel like they've just knocked it completely out of the park, I gotta say. Here they come, looking great, being airlifted in. Let's see if we can catch a glimpse of one as it's coming out of the hatchery here. I really do like seeing this, seeing when they emerge slowly but surely.
Yeah.
There we go. Hello. Oh, look at that beak. I don't know if that can technically be called a beak, but
it's more like a weapon at this point, isn't it? Whilst the Dimorphodon might very well be standing on your couch and you're not really sure what to do about it, the Tropio is more likely to have smashed through the wall and looked for food. That beak is something quite exceptional.
Let me see. They need a bit of forest. We can totally get that done here to make sure that they're comfortable. There we should go. Tushan asks, when building, what does terrain restraints refer to? I always assumed it's the terrain. It usually is the terrain is not level. And sometimes when you're building and you have, let me see if I can get the contour lines on. So you see here the contour lines, and when you place down something, let's say I place down something on this line, I can't flatten it after the building's been placed. And so sometimes there's a bit of a tricky business there when you're trying to build something else. That's what that refers to. And let's see if I can find, there we go. And then as it's building out its territory.
Look at that proud stance.
Yes.
Pulls its head up.
Love it. 100% comfort right away. Very content. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this could be what we need to finish out this level. And I may have timed this just perfectly because we are just about to jump into a sandbox mode part already in progress where we can check out some Early Cretaceous Pack and Update 1
Wonderful.
stuff, which I think is going to be really
That's the stuff to really look forward to. Yeah.
It's the thing everyone's been waiting for. Everyone's sitting there sort of rubbing their hands together. When will I get to it? When will I get to it?
I don't care what Orcun thinks about his dinosaurs. I want to see the new stuff.
So when, I mean, when making something like this, like, I'm assuming it starts with the research, and then where does it sort of go from there?
There tends to be a lot of so a lot of research will be done oftentimes by our art director of dinosaurs, Peter Giles. He will look through an exhaustive amount of literature, like really spend a lot of time with it. And then, you know, often he'll find contradictions within stuff that's more popular consensus and whatnot. And then he'll typically work with a concept artist and go back and forth to kind of get an idea for what they want. Spend time looking at specifically at the head, the shape of the eyes, the shape of the neck, the beak shape, what kind of scales you would have around there, how the scales act. Like it's an extremely intricate process. Then once they've gone through all of that, it will start moving on to character art. And what we would usually do is character art will provide quite a simple block out so that Pete, again, can work with them to agree on proportions. So obviously in a 2D concept, it's difficult to understand the proportionality of the reptile or dinosaur, whereas it will go back and we'll create this block out so that they can agree on it. And then that can be painted over. Congratulations, Mr. Mission Complete.
Thank you very much. All right, so we're going to let this cutscene play out, and then we're going to jump into sandbox mode.
Beauty has its charms, but what appeals to the senses is the asymmetry of
Excuse me.
nature. Its rough edges.
Slopey also adding a link to our forum post about Update 1 and the Early Cretaceous Pack in both YouTube and Twitch chat. If you haven't
Much
checked
like
that forum
the
post out yet,
dinosaurs.
please do, because there's some information there about
Dr. Malcolm,
the new
there
update
are
and
reports
the
of a large
DLC.
herd of subject animals roaming freely in Yosemite.
Look at that mountain range.
my point.
Beautiful.
Wow, it's beautiful. It's lovely.
Chaos.
It's
Don't
just,
you just
I mean, it's a great backdrop to building a dinosaur park.
Mhm.
And then
Yosemite. Over one.
and there we go. I know what the issue is now. Sorry, folks. I'm gonna make sure. There we go. I'm not gonna mute myself ever again. And let me just get this. Audio should be coming back right about now. Hopefully. Good stuff. There we go.
Oh, it was intentional anyway. It
Fantastic.
was an opportunity for everyone to sit in silence and
Sorry,
just contemplate the world around them.
Sorry. But, I mean, that's the thing about live streams. Oh,
Over
that was the wrong
1,000.
load file. What am I doing? Let me see here. Let me just get this sorted correctly, shall we?
All working again.
I mean, it wouldn't be a live stream unless there were a few sort of hiccups here and there. But we should be very... Yeah, it's not a Twitch stream unless something breaks. Luckily, it was just a small thing that we managed to fix very quickly. All right, let us now get...
No amount of preparation can get you getting everything perfect for a live stream, right? Everything always goes wrong.
That is usually how it goes, in my experience. And
Terrible flashbacks
here we
to
are.
presentations in schools.
Here we are, and in our Canadian little park here. Now, as I talked about in the intro, we're releasing a DLC and a free update on December 9th. And as part of that free update, we are releasing a Jurassic Park aviary and a Jurassic Park lagoon. And so I've built a little tiny, very functional, very function over form style Jurassic Park right here with the Jurassic Park aviary, sort of mesh aviary here, the Jurassic Park lagoon, and I've got a nice little land enclosure over here. So we're going to take a look at some dinosaurs and some reptiles, and just look at that view, folks. That's incredible, right? Like, just absolutely gorgeous.
Absolutely gorgeous. I adore this level so much. Look at those reflections of the trees and everything. The render team have gotten that down so perfectly.
Like here, for example, you can see the mountains reflected in the water as well. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Over here, yonder, it's just absolutely gorgeous. And I've also got a shark feeder here, which I believe is in the correct style. But yeah, I'm very excited to check some of this stuff out. So let's first head off into this aviary here, and we've got a lovely little Pteranodon, and I think some of you, let's see if we can get this Pteranodon to land on a rock as it's flying around. I think this Pteranodon might look familiar to some of you. Oh, are you going to land on the rock? No, you're going to land on the view again. Oh! Oh, so
He's
close.
playing with you. He's playing with you.
And some of you might recognize this as the 1997 Pteranodon skin, which is also coming out with Update 1.
I cannot begin to describe how much of an impact it has having these reptiles landing on rocks in the aviary. It seems like such a small thing, but it makes such a different feel to kind of the ambience.
Yes, and it just looks so good and natural, and they're just sort of sitting there with their little feet and their little hands, and it is just I love it so much. And just I loaded this up earlier today and just put down a rock, released a couple of Pteranodons, watched them fly around, and then he just sat down and landed on the rock, and I just like, oh yes, they did it, they're doing the thing. It's so good.
It makes such a difference. It's really good.
So let's get some more of these in, because right now I have 3 in here, which is enough, but it's not enough. So let's release some of these Pteranodon.
And just for clarity, no matter how you rotate the rocks, they will still be able to land on them, so you can still use your randomization placement. Throw them all around the place, and
look at that! Isn't
look
that
at
gorgeous?
them, beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Let me just double check here as well. Yes, Pteranodon, 1997 skin. So yeah, they will land on the ground. They will also land on rocks, and of course they will land on the feeder and on the viewing gallery. They look so good, in my opinion.
Well, one of the nicest things about being a producer for dinosaurs is that you get to spend basically most of your day looking at all the various creatures that the guys have made. And it's great stuff.
So a lot of love in the chat for the Pteranodon skin. And if you're wondering how you unlock this, well, we will reveal that later on in the patch notes for update 1. But it's not going to be difficult to get, is what I'm going to say. All right, so let us move on and take a look at one of the new dinosaurs coming in the dinosaur. I say dinosaur. That was the marine reptile. We're going to save that one for later. I think we're going to start off with the dinosaur, and then
such a tease.
and then we're going to get to the marine reptile. So, one of the we're releasing 4 new animals in the Early Cretaceous pack. It is the Wurosaurus. It's the Minmi or Minmai. I'm a bit unsure of the pronunciation because I've heard both. It is the Sungaripterus and the Kronosaurus. So we're going to show you the Wurosaurus and the Kronosaurus today, and then you'll get to see the other 2 when we release the DLC. So let's just. So I think I've prepared this It's a pretty expansive enclosure I've prepared here. So this should hopefully be enough for the Wurosaurus. Let's see how these look. This is 100% my favorite part of playing Jurassic World Evolution.
Yeah, understandably. I love the scaling around the face on this. Like sorry, for everyone's awareness, I'm going to be referring to them as the woo-woo just because one of our concept artists called it that earlier on, and I can't help but use that term. But the kind of the beak shape and the head shape, and obviously the plates on the back are quite different to the other stegos and such. But it's a beautiful creature. They've done a really good job on this. I'm particularly fond of the patterning as well. It's quite. There's just something about it which is quite vivid, and it works really well with all the different colors.
Yeah, it looks really, really nice. I'm going to spend as much time looking at the plates as I want to, George. Thank you. So, and of course, stay away from the Thagomizer. I think there was a great Thagomizer in chat at some point as well, which is just a killer nickname. So yeah, there you go, the Wurosaurus. Wurosaurus. I think that's how you pronounce it. And
I believe the scientific name is woo-woo. Yeah.
And Gaimcore asking, is this the update and DLC we're looking at? Yes, it is absolutely that. So the Wurosaurus will be part of the Early Cretaceous pack, and the Jurassic Park style aviary that you're seeing right here will be part of the free update. Same with the Jurassic Park style lagoon, which we're also rolling out, as well as a full suite of DFW buildings, which we will show at a later date. Which I think, I mean, you may have seen some of it on our social channels already. So if you want to, you can head over to our Twitter feed or our Instagram feed, and you will see a picture there of some of these buildings. Now, should we get to the big one?
Oh, Chrono.
Should we get to the big one? I've just made one because I figured one would be enough. So let's just release the Chrono. Ooh, look at that.
I love these so much. They've done such a good job with this.
It looks amazing.
My name is Isaac Clement, and it's great to finally meet you. I hope you're ready, because the dinosaurs can't wait to meet you too.
That doesn't sound ominous at all.
No, I was thinking that as well. Especially when it's a Kronosaurus that you're releasing as well. As cute as it is a bit teethy.
Yes, I mean there are definitely some teeth here,
A
but
legendary
it's
ruler of
just
Greek mythology.
absolutely
Holy
gorgeous.
Pretty cool, right?
And maybe if it's hungry enough, we can get it to, because I think this one will eat from the shark feeder, if I'm not mistaken.
It will indeed.
So maybe, fingers crossed. A lot of love in chat for the Kronosaurus. Is this update live now? This update is coming out next week on December 9th, but we're just giving you a tiny bit of a preview. Let's see if we can...
Such a gorgeous swim animation. It looks so elegant.
Yeah, it looks like it's flying through the air, through the water, and I love it, absolutely. Let's see if we can speed it up just a little bit. Hopefully, at some point, it'll see the shark feeder. Fingers crossed. If not, then hopefully, I mean, you'll get to see it at some point. But I just love seeing it swim through the water, really. I mean, it's coming up on something.
Yeah, it did make a turn for it, so there's a very good chance that...
Here we go, here we go.
Here we go.
Oh! Look at that!
Not quite as monstrous as the mosasaur to take the shark down in one go, but it manages it in the end. I still wouldn't start a fight with one.
Incredible! That was so cool.
I love that animation so much.
That was actually the first time I've seen that. I knew it would eat from the shark feeder. I did not know that it would literally tear the shark in two as it comes up. That was so good. And that just about puts us at the end of our hour here. So I'm gonna look at the Kronosaurus just a little bit more. It's so gorgeous. It looks so good.
It's lovely. It's wonderful, yeah.
It is absolutely good. And let's take another look at some of these Pteranodons as well. Lovely, lovely Pteranodons. And then finally, coming in the Early Cretaceous pack is the Kronosaurus and the Wurosaurus, which is an absolutely gorgeous stegosaurid. And of course, both the Wurosaurus and the Kronosaurus, you can mix and match different skin colors and pattern colors as well to make them look, nice and individual and all that good stuff. Rabiticus says, "You've deprived me of my boy Minmai, unforgivable." You'll get to see it. We're just saving it for a later stream.
I appreciate the desire. It's a wonderful creature.
Personally, I am very, very excited about this update coming out. I'm very excited about the new DLC coming out, and I hope everyone out there is excited as well. Whew. Yeah, Dinomation says both look so good. That's great. Paleo Sam says, now that they perch on rocks, if you satisfy their rock needs with a rock floor texture, do they have nowhere to stop flying? Will they still chill on top of viewing galleries? Well, Orcun, you can probably answer that, but I believe they'll probably still land on the viewing galleries.
So generally they'll perch on whatever satisfies them that's nearby. So they won't stop perching on the viewing galleries as a result of the rocks. So you should still get a lot of variation in terms of where they choose to chill out.
They can also land on the ground, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah, although typically with the ground, they'll prefer to land higher up, as any creature would, on the viewing gallery on a rock.
Cool. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right. We hope you've enjoyed this brief preview of some of what you can see in in Free Update 1 coming December 9th, as well as the Early Cretaceous Pack also coming December 9th. And excuse me. If you head to our forums, there will be a write-up there of some other things that you can also expect. Like we mentioned previously in the stream, campaign maps are coming to sandbox mode. Mm-hmm. If you finish the campaign, all those maps will be available to you in sandbox mode. We are rolling out flattened versions of sandbox maps, which will flatten everything, remove all the foliage and greenery, so you can start from literally scratch. And there's a few other things there as well that I'm now forgetting. Oh yeah, rock perch points as well for your flying reptiles, the Jurassic Park lagoon and aviary, and of course a full set of DFW buildings. That's a lot, and I'm really excited about it. Are you excited about it, Orcun?
I'm extremely excited about it. I'm extremely excited to see what people say about it, see how they enjoy it, and see kind of like social media posts that people have taken of screenshots or videos and whatnot. It'll be quite exciting.
I'm guessing there's going to be plenty of screenshots and clips from this stream making its way to social media as we speak.
Wonderful.
And yeah, of course, follow us on our social media channels on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, or head to our forums to join the discussion with the rest of the community. But as for now, that's going to be it for us for this week. But as I mentioned, Update 1 and the Early Cretaceous Pack releases next week, December 9th. And we hope you've enjoyed, and we will see you in about a week's time. Bye.